do they train HR professionals to keep a straight face during salary negotiations?
I negotiated salary was 4 years ago.
Why is it that HR people, we always give this poker face? If you were to give one word to Nigerians and the way they negotiate salaries, what would that word be?
In the last 6 months, what have you done?
Make your work visible. It's very, very important. Shout about the work that you are doing. Let them see. Let them see the work that you are doing.
You've heard of the word audacity.
Hey!
The biggest red flag in salary negotiation is when
I hear we are competitive.
Hi guys, welcome to the Expert Explorer podcast, your number one employment podcast in the world, where we talk about the facts, the myth, and everything in between.
That's right.
My name is Aisha.
My name is Midday. And I'm so excited to be here today. Aisha, you're not excited?
I'm super excited.
Like, today looks very colorful.
Yay.
I was so excited to have you. Have you subscribed? If you've not subscribed, you're doing yourself a disfavor. Because today's topic is going to be one of a kind. The one that you've not heard anywhere before. I mean, you might be seeing people say one or two things about it, but trust me.
Who cares? Our own is the best.
Yeah, today's topic is the best. I just want to use this medium to say a very big welcome to our first, or to those that are joining us for the very first time. Welcome. This is me giving you a warm hug. Take it.
Thank you.
So, on today's episode, we have a very special guest. You know her. We know her. Everybody knows her. She's even blushing.
I'm blushing about that.
She is a senior HR expert in one of the big 4 companies in the world. I mean, one of the audit companies in the big 4 audit companies in the world. So you need to stand up for this ovation that we're actually rendering to her. She's a fashionista, and permit me to say this, she's a mom of 3, a yummy mommy.
Yummy mommy. Not those ones that you be lying to your friends that she's a yummy mommy. This one is the real yummy mommy.
I would say she's an excellent HR practitioner. And she's also leading in the digital HR landscape. Please join me as I welcome no other person but Abiba Sumbola, aka founder of Biba Talks.
Yay!
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much,
You're
Lydia and
welcome.
Aisha.
Thank you for joining. I'm so excited. You have no idea. I've been gushing at her since she entered this place. If you see her skin, oh my God! I can see myself. I can see my reflection from her skin.
my God.
I'm not even lying. I promise you. Me, I have one question for you, Abiba. What's your secrets to this beauty?
Well, it's God. But to really be practical, I think it's hereditary. My dad and my mom, they really have, should I say, young genes. Like, they look younger than their ages. And it's been like that for my siblings as well.
Very beautiful. I don't know. Mommy and daddy, sorry. I don't know, but
this is beauty.
This is mom of 3.
Thank you
Mom
so
of
much.
3.
Like, you know when you told me, when they told me mom of 3.
Why are you people doing this?
My dear.
Why? People don't mind them. Why they are
Mind us.
doing
You
this?
can't see her. Me, I can see her. Take my word for it. Oh my God.
I don't think the camera is doing justice. Let me just say it in advance because we're still shooting.
It's not actually. You are so beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
you are
And
not
you
only
too.
beautiful, you are now brilliant again.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you so
God,
much.
though.
Yeah.
God,
And
before us,
she's very pleasant. She's
She's-
a very
yeah, she's
warm
so-
and pleasant person.
Immediately she stepped in, she was just smiling. This is my first time of meeting Abiba, actually.
Trust
in
me.
person.
Let me
But it's
give
like
you
we've
a
known
quick
ourselves
tip.
since.
Let me give you a quick tip. At work, when we're still working together, we had this moment where, I would need the senior people in a team to
Yeah.
give me candidates or to give me assessors for our GT recruitment. And anytime I reach out to Abiba would just calmly tell me, oh, there's nobody. I can't do this. Olamide, I'm busy. But at the end of the day, she'll still shop. Okay, please, can I send you somebody? She's so warm. She's so gentle. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, Abiba. So fragile.
Thank you for your kind
What
words.
you add in your stew? Cut some for us.
She's not like you.
Can you hear me there, everybody? Can you hear me there? Stay is not like me.
I'm sure if it's you, I'm interacting for that session.
No, I would have shouted at you. You already know. I don't
Aisha
have
would have cut
patience.
relationship with me.
I don't have that. I don't have patience.
This Aisha that almost broke up with me one time ago. This girl.
I can't
You
remember.
can't remember that. I was almost crying, Aisha.
Oh, I can't remember.
But it's okay.
So
we'll take it off air.
Okay, let's not. Let's
Let's
on.
not spread our dirty line.
I don't know what me there, so she's lying on my head. I'm a very calm person. I don't used to fight.
Anyway, we'll move on to the next. On to the next. Okay, so today we're speaking on a very sensitive topic, but before we talk about it, right, we want to remind our viewers, please ensure you follow, subscribe. One thing we do is to ensure that we do proper research on every topic that we discuss here so that you can get insights, you can navigate the workspace, you can be the superhero at your place of work, you can look like the most intelligent amongst your colleagues, right? Because you listened to our podcast and we have enabled you with the right information. So hit that subscribe button because this is a cue. And what we're discussing today is a topic, like I said earlier, that you probably have heard somewhere, but we're going to be expounding on it today. We're going to be discussing on how to negotiate your salary. So if you're an employee and you want to negotiate a promotion or an increased salary, we're going to be saying it today. If you're a candidate and you are the interview deck, we'll tell you what point you should actually negotiate a salary and what point you need to hold your breath and wait for that moment where you need to start talking about salary negotiation. Because it's not even at the very first instance that you need to start talking about salary offers or the offer that they are going to be giving to you.
Yeah. So, and one thing I've heard is that some people price themselves like I give you bread.
Like, I'm telling you, I see you on the shelf.
How do you price yourself? Like, if they put you on the shelf now, how will you price yourself?
They deal with, I think most of these candidates, what they do is they negotiate salary as if they are an item on a shelf. And meanwhile, the ideal thing is to actually see the value that you're supposed to bring to the table and then discuss it. But I think we're already talking about the topic.
Yes.
It would be best for us to, help or allow our experts here.
Yeah. So we'll be asking Abiba like several questions that we've curated that we think that would help you understand like this topic very well.
Absolutely.
So Abiba will be giving us our expert responses. Then we have our own experience too. We can add it,
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so yeah. Hey, Abiba, one quick question I have is, when was the last time you had a salary conversation?
Okay, so personally, the last time I negotiated salary was 4 years ago.
Okay.
But if you flip the coin around, the last time I heard a candidate negotiate salary should be last year. Yeah, 2025.
Wow, interesting. How was that? How did that feel?
So the conversation was with a graduate training. So he was just coming into the workforce, right? So when he was saying the amount he wanted to earn, obviously, I don't know whether it was based on market research or whether he just brought up the numbers from his head or his mind, right? But one thing I noticed was the fact that he didn't give a range. So he just went specific. This is the amount I want to earn. And me trying to probe, okay, why? Why do you want to earn that amount? It's like, because he feels that's the amount that is worth the role. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
So that's very interesting because for somebody that is entering the workforce for the first time, like new, like somebody that is just going to the workforce, it's very easy for you to just feel like, let me just take what they are giving me and not say. So it goes to show that a closed mouth is a closed destiny. So always ask whether you are new to the workforce or not.
I agree.
Say your mind.
Abio, me, I
That's
even have
interesting.
3 quick questions for you. I think the first one is, why is it that HR people, we always give this poker face? Is it that, I know that they didn't train me to give a poker face during salary negotiations, but is it that it's a norm? Is it something that we are supposed to do when people are negotiating salaries? I mean, just in case.
So I think it's just because of our experience. We try to be as professional as possible.
Absolutely.
So me personally, I've mastered the art of just staying calm. So when you say, oh, you want to earn this amount, even if I know that this amount you are saying,
It's not
the most senior person in this place is not earning
even
the
earning
amount. I'm like, wow.
nice.
So I think it might as well cut across. Maybe everyone's experience is different, but that's my experience. Just to stay calm and just give the person the freedom to continue to talk. Because by the time you have a funny face, the person feels laid back. So give person freedom. Oh, wow, great, interesting. All right, thank you. I'm not committed to it. I've not said whether we'll pay you that or not. So
That's, poker
That's
face
interesting.
helps. Well, true.
It helps.
So it's a good thing that at least we've highlighted that it's because you just want to stay professional. I think the second question for me, quick question, is if you were to give one word to Nigerians and the way they negotiate salaries, what would that word be?
okay, so what I've found is that most people, and I wouldn't even say it's specific to Nigerians. I don't know. I've not lived in another country before.
Okay.
But what I found is that people are always hesitant to negotiate. It might not even be salary. It might be something else that they need. But to negotiate that, it makes them feel like they will lose that opportunity. And I'll give you an instance, right? So my Viva Talks page, right? I sometimes run like brand endorse. I do some brand adverts or brand gigs for other people. So a particular company had reached out to me to say, it's Women's Month. We want you to be a part. Funny enough, it was a salary negotiation conversation as well. That most Black women find it difficult to negotiate salary. So we want you to answer some questions, like it's a 5-minute session or 10-minute session. You answer some questions on salary negotiation. And I was like, fine. And we agreed. It sent questions to me. And I'm like, fine. So as I was preparing for the question, another message then popped. They had said, in introducing that particular episode, they wanted me to do a video to say, I check blah, blah, blah page. I just add a short video with them or something like that. And I went through their page and I saw that there were different styles of communicating a new episode. You don't necessarily have to say, I just check another person, check this page. There were some that it was just a cover story or cover page to say, click here to watch. And so I was like, I would prefer
To have
click
that,
here.
yeah.
And then I dropped my phone. I went about my daily business. And just for me to come back to my phone, I'm like, we're so sorry. We just have to cancel this. I'm like, okay.
What
It's not a
just
salary.
happened?
You are not paying me. I had to respond that ironically, the topic I was going to speak about was how to negotiate
Negotiate
for
for
salary. And part of my responses, when you sent me the question, part of the responses I had prepared was to say a lot of people don't want to negotiate because they don't want to lose that opportunity. But it is playing out
right now because I asked you for something different.
Exactly. So I guess my response, maybe they're just like, no, that wasn't it. We're going to reach out to you before that because of our timing and all of that. I'm like, it's fine. But in my mind, I know that it was because I tried to
get something else.
So that's the same thing in reality. A lot of people, they need this job. They're trying to survive. They need something to keep them going. So they're like, if they offer me this, I'm now negotiating. What if I lose it? And there are a lot of people out there as well searching for
that will take that offer.
Exactly.
So they'll just downplay themselves.
So a lot of people are hesitant, especially at that junior mid-level role.
Absolutely.
Very hesitant.
Yeah, you're very correct.
You're spot on,
you're
honestly.
spot on. Like you're so spot on because the Nigerian factor, it plays a lot because in Nigeria we are trained to have to be grateful. There's this sense of having gratitude for everything. That comes your way. So when you get age, even if it's not especially for mid-level and like entry level, you're very correct, because once you get it, you'll be like, they've given me, let me just take it to. What if they take it back? There are other people, even the people on the other end, like the employers will tell you that I've seen somebody that can do it cheaper. Even goes way beyond even professional employment. Even like artisans, they will tell you that I like, even I say it's very wrong. I say like I'll tell you that I found somebody that can do it cheaper. If somebody asked me for I found somebody that I think that's that factor of like, okay, always being grateful, like let me just take what they give me so that I will not ruffle any further. Yeah, so
But this is
spot on.
an awareness actually to say, or a call to action to say that when people negotiate, just be transparent enough to say, oh, this cannot work. You know,
exactly.
rather than just shoving it off and making the person feel like they did something wrong without
wrong.
a proper explanation.
You're very correct.
That's no ideal.
Yeah, we need to do better. Like always, like when somebody advocates for themselves, if you can't do it, just tell them that, oh, this doesn't work for our number. Or can we like come to like an agreement on something? And if you people can't come to an agreement, oh, thank you, like, oh, we wish we could have joined us, but we have to move forward. Then you move. You don't have to like ghost the person or be angry because somebody is asking for what they think they deserve.
I agree.
Let's do.
I think my third quick question would be, what's the best negotiation line that you've ever heard from a candidate?
Okay, I would say the best line is a candidate mentioning his or her value, the results they've achieved so far, and why they think this is what they want to earn.
Wow.
So I always advise that when you're negotiating salary, don't be emotional.
Don't be.
It's not because I stay in the Ajangbadi part of Lagos or because I stay. Just clearly, this is my value. This is what I'm going to do. I've done it before. It's worked before. And I'm telling you that if you bring me on here, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be learning to do it.
Exactly.
So that's the value. So that you have to come from that value perspective. Not saying, things are now very expensive. The cost of living is high.
Nobody cares.
I think they're already aware of that.
Exactly.
So you need to bring something else to sell yourself.
Something else,
Exactly.
Yeah, very correct.
That's fantastic.
You're very
Thank you.
correct.
Thank you for helping us, quash that.
So yeah, how do you handle a situation where a candidate just throws a number that you know that this, like you mentioned the other time, like maybe the budget for the role is like maybe the highest you can go for that level is like maybe 500,000, and the person said, oh, I want to collect, like what I'm expecting is 1 million. You know that this one, it will not work. How do you react to that kind of thing?
So for me, I look at it from the point of view of it is their reality.
Okay.
So I won't discredit the fact that they feel they should earn this amount of money, right? So I could just ask specific questions as to, is that the cutoff? Like, can we negotiate, or this is it? Okay, and the person says, oh, we can negotiate. Okay, so if you're going to be negotiating, what's the minimum that you're going to be going for? So that we already know.
Yeah.
So there isn't much back and forth, right? So I don't let the candidates feel bad for having a voice to negotiate.
Yeah.
Because he or she knows the value or she is bringing in. So I just
Absolutely.
leave that room for you to be able to then speak about it. What is your minimum? If you're not going to go below that minimum, it's fine. It's not a problem. We're not fighting. We're not fighting. We're not.
It's not personal.
So that's where I think people should look at it from.
So, but really, have you experienced a violent situation before where a candidate violently made you understand that, man, this salary is meant for him and you guys have to agree to the salary proposition? Because I think I've seen it online before, where a candidate insulted the interviewer that you guys are even offering me 200K and you stressed me or something. You called it a competitive salary. I think I've seen it before on social media and it trended and people were laughing about it. But really, do you think it is okay for candidates to go ballistic about it?
I would not say it's okay. Because remember I said it's a conversation. It's not a fight. So I haven't personally experienced somebody flip out like that to say, oh, I said I wanted this. I don't even think I will let it get to that level. because I would manage it. And part of my ways to manage it is to have that poker face, like, you've not done anything bad. It's your
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah.
And I said, thank you very much. Exactly. And we are all fine. But just
Actually.
that we will just send you, unfortunately, we can't pay that amount. We can't. Because you have to also look at our own reality as
Yes.
well as a
Yes.
business.
Yeah.
If you can
You're
afford
right.
it. I think this is also a very strong message to candidates, because you don't expect employers, if they can afford you over a period of time, to accept the offer or to accept the salary you're
You're
pushing
bringing.
towards them, right? You have to be
It has to be
reasonable.
sustainable.
Yes, it has to be
It
sustainable.
has to be sustainable for them.
Exactly.
You can't just call a
Yes.
number and if they can't pay it, you now get angry.
Exactly.
No. Just like how you as a candidate have the first right of like, okay, I can't take this amount. They also have the employers also have the right or to say that, oh, we can't pay you this amount. So it goes to
I
both
agree.
ways.
I agree.
But let's keep it respectful.
Yes, it's not personal. And I really love this angle, this perspective you've thrown, towards this question. I think I have one particular thing that was bubbling on my mind sometime. I know that there are steps to negotiating, right? And if you want to negotiate, even as an employee, to up your salary, or as a candidate to get an opportunity, what do you think are the best ways to go about it?
So what I've seen in my years of experience in HR is that when people are going for salary negotiation discussion, I feel like you don't prepare the way they prepare for the actual interview. So
true.
they are going to download everything they
That
know
they've
about the
seen.
popular interview questions, but they skip out that salary negotiation conversation. I always
Yeah.
advise people from the very get-go, an employer invites you for an interview, already prepare, because you don't know whether salary discussions will come up.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's not at that point that you start saying, oh, let me get back to you. Or you should, if you know that it is your value, you should already know how much you want to be paid for that value.
Exactly.
That's what I always tell people. So preparation for salary discussions should be as much as preparing for popular interview questions.
Yes.
Or, how long have you been working?
Yes.
It should be that. It should go side by side.
I agree.
So in
Right.
preparing for salary negotiations as well, the same way you're going to research, it's the same way you have to research. There are popular pages, websites that you can have an idea of what
to
even if it's not your
negotiate.
specific
Exactly.
company, but the industry. You can
Yes.
see, oh, a manufacturing industry pays
This amount.
At
least you give you an
Give you
average.
an average,
So you can work
exactly.
Do you have in mind some of the platforms that actually share this information?
I know of Glassdoor.
Yeah, Glassdoor
I
is a
know
good
that it
place.
is plain. You can even then see comments about the organization. So you can
Exactly.
start deciding
Let's
whether you want to
talk
work
about-
here
Yeah, we spoke about like something that
Exactly.
in one
Or
of our
not.
episodes, yes.
So when you then check and you already have an idea of what that industry is, you also have to be true to yourself. You find some people, they just moved into a particular role. For instance, human resources for 6 months, and they're like, I don't want to work here again. Let me go somewhere else. So you only have 6 months of human resources experience. But because you've checked
Absolutely.
Glassdoor, you see that they pay mid-level role human resources 600,000, for instance. You now go there with 6 months experience.
And
And
say
the
you are
same
more
thing,
okay.
it needs to come from the value point
That you are
of view.
giving.
Do you really
Yeah.
think you can? As you go, you're actually going to learn. That's
Yeah,
the truth.
true.
So it should come from the point of view of, this is the value I have. List it already a day before the
agree.
interview.
I agree.
This is what I can provide. This is the impact I can make. This is what I've done before. Okay,
Yeah.
now looking at the information I've gotten from Glassdoor, for instance, and what I can do. So how much do I think I can earn
In this industry,
in this industry?
or company.
Then
I
have
agree.
that conversation with yourself without involving the employer to say, okay, if I say I
Yes.
want to earn this, I stay in this place. My house is at this place. Will this money be worth
Enough.
it? Will I be able? So after, but don't now go to the employer and now add the value conversation with the logistics conversation with. It doesn't
With the
work
economic
that way.
inflation.
It doesn't work that way. It has done that
I
math.
agree.
There are some conversations you have yourself. You don't have to bring it out
Exactly.
there.
And I think employers, the only, like, to some extent, the only thing that they care about is like the value that you're bringing. That's just like,
Yeah, that's actually why they're
like,
hiring.
that's why
you.
they're hiring you. Nobody cares whether you're coming from Agidingbi to
Do your
Ikoyi.
job exactly.
So just like how you said, you mentioned it earlier, like don't go with emotions. Emotions does not solve it, and it even makes them not. It kind of reduces your steez a little bit, to
It's
be
the
totally
harsh
honest.
truth.
But if you are coming to come to talk about like salary, like, oh, this is what I'm worth, this is what I can do. I can do A B C D E F G. I can give you this value A B C W X Y Z. They respect you, like, okay, this person knows what they're talking
Better.
about. They
I
respect
agree.
you better.
I agree.
So don't just be saying, you know, in this economy, fuel is now 1,400. They already know,
I
my dear, before they
agree.
gave you that amount. They already know that fuel was 1,400. They already know that you're coming from Agidingbi. They already know.
I agree.
So tell them what you can offer them, that you think that amount, that's the amount that you can, that's the value of
You
yourself.
can, yeah,
So
you
give
can
them
offer.
that. Then you mentioned like Glasgow. I just wanted to add, like, okay, for Nigeria, sometimes Glasgow can be a bit dicey. That you can use Naira Land too to check.
Naira
especially
Land
for
is also a
Nigerian,
great place too. And
Nigerian
even
company.
X.
X.
Just go on
Even
X and
LinkedIn.
hashtag. Yes.
Even
LinkedIn is very.
LinkedIn can advertise a role and put the
that's what,
amount.
yes, that's
yeah.
what, even all these,
Yeah.
like all these job boards, like all these you can check like the job role that they are posting out. Okay, what are the salary ranges that they are putting there? What are the expectations that they are putting there?
I
You can
agree.
use that to do your that most important thing, research. Don't just go to a salary conversation without researching. Don't do
I
that to
agree.
yourself.
Thank you very much, Biba. I think we've been able to help the people seeking jobs. I want to understand how best those that are already in the job can negotiate salaries, because it is always difficult when you're already in the organization and you want to have that uncomfortable conversation, especially when you know that your boss already told you they're cutting costs. They've already told you that there's no salary increase happening, but you know deep down that you're probably an A candidate, right? And you deserve a salary increase or a promotion, take for instance, right? So how do you go about it without it looking awkward? Especially if you don't even have a relationship with your manager.
So you know, on my River Talks page, right?
Yeah.
I have quite a number of people come to my DM to ask me this type of question. Like they will resume somewhere within 3 months. They're like, I didn't negotiate well, and what happens to the best of us?
Yes.
Because we've not done the proper research.
Actually.
So you go in there and you're like, I've not negotiated well, and barely 3 months, you're still under probation, and you're considering talking about salary raise.
Wow.
So what I always tell them is that you now have to show that value you were preaching during the interview days. You have to show it and have the evidence for it before you start another salary conversation.
Yes.
Before you say, I need a raise. The first question, in the last 6 months, what have you done?
Exactly.
Bam.
Beyond your daily activities.
Not the work that are already paying you for.
Exactly. What are the number of things you've done? How much have you saved the company? What number of processes you've introduced to the company? Number of customers you've been able to sustain.
I agree.
It's from that point of view that you can now say, okay, I've done this, done that. No, but everybody's okay now. Like, everybody we are all
Reasonable.
intellectuals.
Yeah.
What do we say?
Yes, we are.
You'll be like, okay, true. This person brought
Has
value
done this.
A, B, and C. Okay, I can.
Unless the person is wicked, of course.
Exactly. But you can't be under probation. I'm still even trying to see whether this person is going to stay with me.
Confirmed.
You will now come from point of view of, I didn't know that the salary will be this way. Now that I've seen it, other
That's
people are
emotional.
earning emotional. No evidence.
Exactly.
Other people are earning more than me.
I agree.
And I always tell people as well, when you're negotiating salary for the very first time, make sure that amount it can sustain you for the next 2 years at the least.
If you
Yes.
don't, yes.
Because you don't
Yes.
know what the promotion process is like where you're going to.
Exactly.
Facts.
So you project even
Yeah,
inflation
exactly.
factors. You project your
Exactly,
plans
yes.
to live a different
Exactly.
lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah, you mentioned something now, like about when you just get in and you see that, every other person around is earning more than you. What do you have to say about like people having like salary conversations? Like, you know, we used to say like in Nigeria, like, it's confidential. Don't talk about your salary, which I know that there's no cost that you want to take them to that they will allow you. What do you mean? Do you think we should be guarded like that? Like, about talking about salaries, especially in your circle. Let's forget about like people that you work with, which I feel like, okay, maybe that one too. But people in your circle, like there's this shame of like, not wanting to disclose how much you earn. And what do you have to say about like the confidentiality or the secrecy around like having salary conversations?
transparency,
Transparency. Yeah. So let me look at it from the employee to employee view. I would not encourage salary transparency because everyone's story is different.
Everyone's story is different.
Because we are on the same grade level, you don't know the years of experience I have. You don't know what the discussion was at my interview. You don't know whether I have some qualifications that you don't have. But because we are all doing the work together, you assume, but we are all
In the
so why
same
shouldn't we
space,
earn the
exactly.
same thing? Right? So in doing you exposing your salary, telling your other colleague, oh, this is what I earn and all of that, it could backfire. Because first, the organization will lose trust in you. So it means that I can't tell you, you can't keep information that is for you, your personal information to yourself. Right? Secondly, it would even cause some conflict.
Chaos.
Because your colleague will start acting funny. And you're wondering, why is this person acting funny? But they will never tell you they're acting funny because of the salary discussion.
Exactly.
So why do you want all that headache for yourself?
It will even cause people to not work as hard because they will feel like
To be
Exactly.
honest.
Exactly.
He's
And they
not
want
collecting
you to
more
do
money
the work.
than me.
Exactly.
So why should I
I
do
think
more?
Exactly.
personally, I've even been guilty of it before, and I agree with you. You shouldn't encourage it because there was a time someone told me about a performance rating. I remember one of my colleagues told me about a performance rating, and then I tried to juxtapose what I was doing for my business versus what the person was doing for them, and I was like, I'm doing so much, and you guys are rating me this low. And then it made me to start having some adjustments to how I position myself on the job. So it's not good for the psychic.
Yeah, it's
it
not.
actually impacts how you approach work going forward. So I agree with you.
So like
Yes.
somebody I asked that question because somebody had asked me before, like, oh, why is it that HR is always saying that, oh, your salary conversation is confidential. So now you guys see like why it is not as if is a secret cult. It's
not
just
secrecy.
for your own mental health,
Yeah.
basically, actually. Yeah. But
It's a safety measure.
is a-
Let's just put it that
within
way.
the organization. But for me, I feel like in your circle, especially for maybe you have people in your circle, not in your organization. Like I have you now, for instance. I have you, Biba, for instance. I want to go into like a job interview. I know that, oh, this is what I'm going to. But if I have like an idea of like, okay, this is what Biba is doing, this is how much Biba is earning, it can help me think about like, okay, oh, this
How
is
to
what
negotiate.
how to negotiate. So I don't think there should be that shame in having being transparent, not within the organization, with your circle outside, like your friend group, your social group, for instance. I think we should be more open, in my own opinion.
Well,
What do
I
you
agree.
think?
I agree. I think you can also be mature about it, even if
Yeah.
it's in the same. Though I'm not encouraging it to.
In the workspace,
but if
man,
your
I don't,
workspace, because like, for instance, if we're on the same grade level, right? I just expect that there is fairness, and that if I'm asking my fellow colleague how much they are paying the person, it will be the same. If truly you say you operate a structured organization or a structured compensation and benefit system, right? It means that if I'm asking A how much they're earning, A that is on, where I was before, they used to use different ratings to determine, sorry to say, but determine salaries. But so if A that was on a 3 rating, if I ask B that was also on that 3 rating the same question on how much they're earning, it should be the same. There shouldn't be any discrepancy. That's a litmus test, right, for the organization to say that employees can trust you enough to say that what you've described for this role, what you're paying them for this role is the same across board and it's fair. So I think you can actually discuss it with your colleagues if you know that person is mature enough to deal with the information.
You see that I didn't nod again. My nodding stopped.
Yeah. Organizations that even have that have a structured like salary structure, there's still, no matter how structured it is, there's still always that room for like, I don't know the word to use. Like, it's not fair. It's not cast in stone. Like, it's not, like you mentioned, it should not. Even
there's a
though
band.
there's a ban.
And
It should. There will be people that will be on the same band that you not earn the same thing.
Because there's a midpoint,
There's a
mean
mid,
point,
there's
and
a
max
there's
point.
a early
all,
point.
all things being equal, that's what I'm saying. All things being equal, you have the same qualifications, you have the same experience, you have the same rating, you have everything the same. And then they are now
But what
giving
if-
you a different band level. It is unfair. That is my own take. So the discussion is a different ball game, but I am speaking to the fairness of it. You should be able to defend it as an organization, and if you cannot defend it as an organization, you shouldn't operate in such.
Yeah,
Yes,
I agree.
So that's
with
my
you.
own take.
Me, that reminded me of something. Like when you said like when everything puts I guess what was the statement that you used now? Everything being equal, everything is the same.
All things being
But all things being equal, everything is the same. Like your experience, your value and everything.
Academics.
But your academics, everything is the same. But you came to me and you, let's say for instance, we both came for an interview. Across board, like when we are the same. But me, like maybe I negotiated lower, then me they negotiated higher. Do you think that the organization should give me the amount I negotiated and give me the amount she negotiated, because it's still within range? For instance, maybe the band is like, maybe like 500 to like 600,000. Then I came to the interview and I negotiated for 550. Then Mide came for the interview and she negotiated 600. It's still within the same range. How do you think like the organization should handle that? Like, even though like we are giving the same thing, when you're looking at it, like, oh, our experience is the same, our educational structure is the same. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, exactly why salary band exists, right? And salary ranges exist. So that's why there's a minimum point, there's a midpoint, and a max point. Even though I'm not a compensation and benefits expert, but I understand that the reason why those bands exist or the ranges exist is so that it can give allowance for people based on their qualification, based on their experience, based on the value they can offer to the organization. So that allowance needs to be there. So all of us, even though we're on the same grade level, we can all not be earning 500,000 if the band is between 500 to 600. You'll find that some people just moved into that role. Those are the ones that will be in the 500. The ones that have already spent like 6 months, 1 year into the role, they can't be at the 500 with the person that just moved into the role. That is why there's that mid and max point. And you know, there are some that can be outliers depending on the type of organization you work in. But because they are on the same, doing the same job, but they are different, there's still something inconsistent about it, about them. You can't then put them on the same level and say, oh, because one has negotiated 500, you have negotiated 550, but because the salary band is 500 to 600, I'll put both of you on 500. You can't do that.
Well,
You're still within your band. You're still within your band.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying everything is equal. Let's just assume that everything is equal. Everything, value, the experience,
Abilities.
everything is equal. But you negotiated higher. Do you think organizations should like say, this person, even if is not in the same band that you're supposed to be, maybe. As you now, you have negotiated for like 500. Maybe I now negotiate for like 450. Maybe because based on my own past experience, where I'm coming from, what I know, like maybe my research was not good enough. I negotiated 450. But according to the books, with the experience I'm coming in, the band is 500 to 600. Do you think organization will say that, oh, okay, let's give you the 500 now?
Let me give you a scenario.
I would
So you
love
go
to
into
hear
Yaba
it.
markets, you see this jacket,
Yes.
and they put it up there. And the seller says it's 10,000 naira, for instance. And someone comes and says, I can't pay 10,000. I can only pay 8,000. Another person is there, and the person says, oh, I can pay 10,000. Are you going to say you're going to give it to the 8,000 naira person?
no.
And you know that you can sell it at that value of 10,000 naira. You know the value of what you are selling. You know you can't go below 8,000 naira. But you have somebody offering you 8,000, that person offering you
A higher
10,000. What would
bargain.
you go with? You will go with the 10,000 naira. So it's the same instance. The person that has come to say is 8,000 naira that I can pay. It's not because the person has seen a lower value in the jacket. And the person has even saying 10,000 naira. It's not that the person has seen something different in it. It's just that this person is saying this is the amount I have. And the other person says, I don't have up to that. So if you bring it home, somebody has said, I'm willing. It's willingness. I
Actually.
didn't force you. You've said, I'm willing to collect 550,000 is within the range for me. Another person has now said that I know my own value
This is the amount
is
I will
600.
collect.
It's still within range.
And so I feel like even if you price yourself too low, it's a
Undervalue
disadvantage.
yourself,
Undervalue yourself. It can remove you from the running. It can remove you from the race. Because me now, if I say, oh, this value, I know that this is the value of what I'm looking for, and you are saying that, oh, I'm going to collect this amount, and I know the value for this thing is like this amount, I'll feel like, oh, maybe you can't do it. That's why you're
So
pricing yourself
can
this way.
you erase that mental note that people have negotiations or salary negotiations as though you're on a shelf as a candidate, and then they are pricing you and you are pricing the customer too. So it's a two-way street.
But let's look at it from the perspective of if the value is really low, I would then be asking questions. What do you think this role is about?
I agree.
Imagine if maybe you're going for a CEO role now, you now say, oh, I collect 200,000. And we in our work is about this CEO that what's paid first 3 million. And you are saying you collect 200,000. This one is not serious. Come on.
I agree.
Yeah,
It's
so
not what
that's
the
you
role.
need. Okay, that is very important. Don't go and
So
underprice
it's even
yourself.
better to overprice yourself.
Yeah.
than to- if you are really a good candidate, they will come back to tell you this is what we can offer. If you're, and I think it's even better, even if a candidate overprices, because they can't really know what your budget is.
Yeah.
If you're a good company, I think what you should do is to go back to the candidate. If the person is good,
Tell
don't use
them
the
the
salary
range.
to make a decision. If the person has overpriced, go back to tell the person, okay, we are sorry, but this is what we can offer. The maximum we can go is this amount, and this is the gross for that matter.
Yeah.
And if the person is open to accepting it, then let it be.
Yeah, I
If
agree
the
with
candidate is that good, but you don't say "Ugh, you are going to let go
Don't write
of
them.
Yeah,
Don't
you
write
just
them.
write
Just
them
tell
off.
them what you can do. It's not that deep, honestly.
And
It's
get
not
back
that.
to
Don't
them.
get back to them and
Yes.
tell them. Oh, this amount that
I
you have
think-
called, though, we can't do it. This
I
is
think
what
me,
we can do.
I would really love us to be very practical, Abiba. Please permit me. I would want to know the what to say. For instance, a candidate is in an interview room and they're asking, so we've said that it's not good to ask people for their salaries. So let's just say you're now asking, how much would you be willing to consider for the show, right? What should the candidate say? And where a candidate is already in an organization and they need to go to their manager to say, oh, I need a raise, what are the right words to say in such situations?
Okay, is this for salary negotiation or when you've already
Both.
cut the both? Okay. So for the salary negotiation, like we've been saying, do your proper research before that conversation,
Scenario.
right? And when you're then speaking, please ensure not to speak to a specific number. Because
agree.
I wonder, how did you even quantify the number?
Exactly.
How? Like you should just have a range. Like you know within yourself, like, within this range, anything
okay.
below, I can't. But if it's over,
You can accept it.
So have the conversation from your value point of view, saying the specific things, not just say I can bring in value, I can bring what value,
Can you bring?
right? Say it. I've done it before. It's tested, and I'm going to do it here. Like you don't need to start telling me what I need to do. I can manage myself, and I can manage others, and this is what I've done before. And then talk about the range. That this is the specific range you're looking at. Right, so that's because I think we've moved past the stage of I don't know how much the amount, or let me get back to you. You can actually, we are all mature now.
You
We're
can
having
just
mature
say,
conversations.
just say.
Just have the range. But if you're already in, like I said, you need to already tell us the value that you have offered. In fact, you're going to that conversation with a PowerPoint presentation or your Excel sheet.
Yep.
Because sometimes you do some work, you don't even remember it.
I agree.
Exactly.
So it's not at the point when you get there
Land.
that you now be saying, because I list it already. By the time you do a PowerPoint presentation,
They will know that this
For
person
them,
know
this
that
one is
you know what you are
serious.
doing.
Exactly. I totally agree.
This
Like
guy-
I think I saw something on TikTok like that. Like the lady was talking about like asking for like a raise. You don't go into like don't be emotional about it. Everything that you do, document it. Is very, very important. Document everything. Even if it's very little. And always like a lot of people, like, you might feel like you're doing a lot of things. It might be like, oh, yeah, I'm doing a lot of work. It's busy work. But it might not be moving the needle forward. It might just be doing a lot of
Activities.
but it's not. There's no impact. Do impactful. If you know that you want to go in and ask for a salary raise, do things that are impactful, that they can see that the impact in the business. Not something like, it's just busy work. Like maybe you're just doing leg work. But there's no impact in it. You see all these HR, sorry to HR profession, like HR like transactional work, like maybe just doing salary payroll or doing this one, doing busy work. It's not busy work, it's work that give impact, that you can see the impact and document it. Like Biba said, have a PowerPoint. I like that PowerPoint. In fact, this is what you should have. Don't go into a conversation to have a raise without having a PowerPoint presentation.
Exactly. And if I may build on what you've said, do the work and do the impactful work and not just activities. I've had people come to my Biba talks, and the person is like, my role naturally cannot be impactful. I'm a customer service. I'm like,
your role is very impactful. What do you mean?
Stayed there.
I'm telling you.
Like you stayed, you turned yourself to a victim and you stayed there.
And you stayed there.
There's several ways that you can even leave that thing you are doing and go to
transform.
And say, what's happening in this communications team?
How can I help?
How can I help? And think about some social media content that the next thing your boss is telling you, please join the comms team for the next shoot.
Damn.
You know, because I'm my role, but naturally I just come in the morning, just answer, receive
and you
call,
want raise,
and you just stay there. Sure.
Sure. And there's one thing that my boss always says. Shout out to Vivian. She always says this thing: make your work visible. It's very, very important. Nobody likes nobody is like, let me fake humility. No, let them see that you're working.
Yeah.
Let them see that you're working. I'm sure they can see, even as much as you are letting them see. Also document, because they can see. Make your work visible. Don't let anybody overshine your work or like, let me just hide and do this work. Don't hide and do anything.
Exactly.
Make your work as visible as possible. Shout about the work that you are doing. Let them see. Let them see the work that you are doing. It's very important. Nobody cares about like, your fake humility in the workspace, especially when you want to move ahead. So I wanted to add that.
Yeah.
This conversation.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
And we stay here, gosh,
we'll not go home again.
Let me just skip to the parts where I asked for our global audience, right? So for persons who have moved to the likes of the UK, Canada, that jackpot season now, how is it that they can manage a situation where they are not underpriced in terms of lack of experience and maybe because they are Africans, right? So you have Africans moving to the diaspora. How well can they position themselves in such a way that those that are the employers over there can price them well,
If you've heard of the word audacity.
Hey!
Audacity, what I've noticed is that a lot of people feel like because they are leaving Nigeria to some, they already feel like Nigeria can't be at par with others. Yeah. Well, I understand that as a country, it might not be at par with the others, but as a person, own skill, my own talent.
Clock
Because
it.
I am crossing border. I'm not taking away my value.
I know, right?
So I'm not going to be going there and be calculating how much I'm earning. I'm converting it to dollars. And I say, okay, I will not ask for more than $300.
I'm telling you.
My value is still my value.
I agree.
Because I'm crossing borders has not changed. The only thing is that I'm now working in their own
different
context,
time zone.
local nuances. I have to consider that. But hey, it is still me. It is still what I can give. So don't even all that conversion thing that people do to say as if you are a second-class citizen because I'm going somewhere.
I agree.
The people are already skilled. People are already. It would be amazing to know that they even look forward to blacks working in their team.
Yes.
Because they want a different perspective.
Yes.
They want to be as diverse as
So
possible.
look at it from that point of view first. That they need a black, and I'm that black.
And stay there.
I stay there.
You are very correct. Yeah, in fact, I like that word I use, audacity.
The audacity is important.
In fact, go and check how much they are paying their people there. Don't go and be using Nigerian mentality. No, if you do your research and it says $10,000, my dear, ask for $15,000.
Aisha, this advice.
Can you say audacity?
I was just bam.
You don't remember that? I was like, don't go cultural thing that you mentioned, it's very because do you know that these people, even when they come to Nigeria to my dear, 15,000. I don't know. Don't quote me. I'm just saying it was the heat of the moment I said it. All these people, they know these things. Like even when they are coming to employ people, like maybe in Nigeria, working in Nigeria, they tend to underprice Nigerian talents. Like you will know that these call centers that they always have, like they have people in Nigeria that do it, and they have their people that do it abroad too. The amount that they will be paying them there, and if you compare it to what they pay the Nigerian people doing the same work, is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Is ridiculous.
Yes, that's why they outsource to all these other countries in Asia,
It's so ridiculous.
in Africa.
And Nigeria, God, they asked on that topic, Shal, but let me cover it. Let's continue with this our conversation. That's the conversation for another day.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I think it's time for us to wrap up now.
It is
In
time.
fact, let's go.
We don't reach.
Not. Our director is already giving us like. He's already mugging me. So
I'm telling you.
we have some like quick hot takes
takes.
that we want you to like just
More like frequently asked
ask questions, like,
by
just for
our
you to-
audience.
Yeah. So, what's one lie about salary negotiation that holds your young talents back?
I think we've discussed it, and I'll come from the point of view of fear of the unknown, right? So because some of them have been home for years, they've looked around, they've seen people spend 3 years, 4 years at home without a job. So they don't want to also fall into that trap. So it's the fear of the unknown that if I go and negotiate, I hope they will not. And it happens.
Yes.
I agree.
I gave you a scenario. This was not salary. Oh. They were not going to pay me. But because I said, I prefer this communication style to this other communication style. And
Damn.
They took you off.
Fighter starts.
Women's Month.
They want to come and talk about women and
Women
salary
supporting
negotiation.
women
I
so
can't
much.
get over it. I can't get over
So
it.
People are
much for
wicked.
it.
So finish this sentence. The biggest red flag in salary negotiation is when
When I hear we are competitive,
I
I always take a seat back. By whose standards?
By what standard?
but you know it's just we are just talking.
Is it even okay to always be benchmarking against other industries? Can't you benchmark against your profits? Benchmark against your
Don't say it outside though. Okay. Oh, I think I've asked this earlier before. Should salary transparency be mandatory across companies, or does that create more chaos than fairness?
Employee to employee, it creates chaos. Everyone is under unnecessary pressure. The person that has said I'm earning higher is trying to justify why she should earn higher. The person that thinks I'm earning lower is working like, well, let me just be working within the amounts they are paying you in my father's company. And the boss is under pressure. Results are not being delivered. So why do we want to have that kind of headache? Why?
True.
But don't you think it will even create that normal
Sanity.
that sanity rather, right? Because if you know how much this role actually, it can help you to also plan to attain that position. You know, for instance, organizations abroad, when they are documenting their job descriptions for job adverts, they always put the salaries there. And I think it's actually a good way to also attract the right talent and those that are interested, really interested, not those that when you now get to the negotiation table, you know, they now begin to give you, you know, some whitewash of how much they're actually expecting. So I think it's better, in my own
Employee to
opinion.
employee, yes.
Me, I am with Biba. Chaos. But in your social circle, in your community, I think transparency is very
So far,
important.
they are not your village people.
So
It's
far,
true. It's true.
that was
Hey,
said
God,
that-
I
because
beg,
that's how some
oh.
people now come and
It's true.
now orchestrate the black thing.
I swear it's true.
If I'm a candidate, how do I negotiate without sounding like a troublemaker?
You know, we've said it's negotiation and conversation. So far, you don't make a fuse out of it.
True.
So far, you don't make them feel like, so this is the amount you will pay your people. And your job description, the list is like this. So far, you don't give that impression that these ones are, just be professional.
Yeah,
you don't know
be
where you would
professional.
meet them later on. The HR person interviewing now could be HR for a global company tomorrow. So just be natural. This is the what I can. This is the range, and I'm open to discussions. Just show your flexibility. There and there, she still has to go back to the boss to confirm that is this the final
good
amount.
for
They
us.
still need to sign off on it. But if you already get the impression of what is this is this, you can't. She's not even going to take that conversation forward. So there's no point being confrontational. It's just we're just
Yeah.
having a discussion.
Yeah.
Ugbaja,
Tugbaja. I'm telling you, it's not fight.
Anoni.
anoning.
Like just like the communication is very important. Like when you're like, oh, be appreciated. Like, oh, you already if you're talking about salaries, meaning that offer is coming. Be like, oh, thank you for offering me this. So I'm so excited to work with the team. Oh, okay, but this amount doesn't work for me. Like anybody that is
Just be
listening to that,
open-minded.
just be open-minded.
Simple.
Appreciate the one that they have given you first. Then you say that, oh, doesn't work for me, but I can do this amount. I'm open to talking about it. We can have a conversation about it. But this is the amount that I think this is the amount I deserve. Yeah.
Love it. That's all I can say.
I love this conversation.
Finally, from me, I think I have one last question. If you were to tell your 25-year-old self, about salary negotiation, what's one advice you give yourself?
Very sensitive question. Yeah, but I would say that you are more.
You are more.
You are more.
That's nice.
Don't be limited, or don't let some things around you limit you. You're actually more. You're seeing yourself in a particular way, but the others can see that thing you're not seeing in you.
I agree.
So you are more.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think we've come to the end of today's podcast. Just leave your comments if you loved every bit of today's episode. If you have any question, if you need anything, any
salary-related
support,
questions.
exactly, just feel free to drop your comments.
Yeah.
And
I'm
please
sure people will have that question. Like, feel free to drop. Even if you can't drop it in the comments, you can enter our DM. We are open. Just
from one explorer to another, be bold,
be global and be you.